Hello, what's going on everyone? Mr. here, hope you're doing absolutely fantastic today as always, staying happy, healthy, and hydrated. This video is going to be a bit longer, quite a bit longer actually, because we are going to be watching 1 hour of the freakiest clips of 2023. Now you guys have been enjoying my creepy videos so much recently that I decided maybe just a 1 hour video would be the perfect late night dessert. So if you think you can do this with me, buckle up, get your snacks, come take a seat, pull it up right next to me. Let's hang out for a bit. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, a dislike if you didn't, and yeah, subscribe if you know, of course, because we're almost at 30,000 subscribers. It's pretty cool. All right, let's do this. By the way, this is from a channel named slappedham. I got this recommended to me in the comments, and yeah, they're almost at 3 mil, so go and subscribe to them.
How you doing? I'm Callan, and this is slappedham. Now today we've got something a little bit special for you. It's some bonus content for the week. This
guy's Australian too! It's gonna be the best video. It's not often I run into Australians while watching these videos. That's pretty cool.
It's a massive compilation of some of the scariest video clips going around. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Alright, I'm gonna. Let's do this! Slappedham!
When this employee was alone in the office late one evening, he probably wasn't expecting a fright. However, it seems that something paranormal may have had other plans for this unsuspecting man. At the start of the video, we see the employee sitting alone at his desk in the darkened room. He begins blowing into his hands, almost as if the room started to drop in temperature. Suddenly, he turns around as some machines in the background begin making noise.
Oh!
Curious, the worker gets up to investigate, but nothing seems amiss, so he returns to his desk.
He vanished! He's a ghost! He's the one! He's causing it. Did you see that? Man looking for ghosts captured being a ghost himself on camera.
The worker gets up to investigate, but nothing seems amiss, so he returns to his desk.
And immediately leaves the office.
A moment later, the lights in a nearby room suddenly turn on.
This one? That door opened though, you saw that earlier. You hear like boxes fall or something too.
Once again, the man gets up to investigate, but just as before, is unable to find anything out of the ordinary. He turns off the light and closes the door. Then suddenly, something eerie happens.
What?
You can see the door slam shut behind him, and
I can see it slam shut, slappedham. Yes. But what I think is kind of funny, like I don't care if it's real or fake. I don't care what actually happened, but it's just funny. Like, you know the feeling when something creepy happens, and you see the way like it runs off after the chair. Oh, poor dude, he's so spooked.
The chair slides across
Look
the
at him.
room.
Watch. It's like when you accidentally step on something and you're not sure if it's like a bug or like what it is. It's like weird, and you're like, ugh.
Fear. However, the security camera keeps rolling, and what it captures next is sure to send chills down your spine.
Oh, he's gone. Well, yeah, what's happening next? Oh! What's the
light in the room turns back on and the door slowly swings open. In the glass, you can see the reflection of a shadowy figure standing motionless inside the room.
If it's a spirit or if it's a ghost or it's a demon, whatever it is, they are super hilarious. They are funny. They know what they're doing, okay? They know what they're doing. It was thinking, you know, if I swing this door open after the lights on, if I stand in this exact position at this time after he's left, knowing that the camera is gonna go, turn around, look at the motion capture. These things are freaking smart and they're hilarious. They're the biggest pranksters. I love them.
The figure remains eerily still for several seconds before the door slams shut once again.
Wait, was that?
Seconds before the door slams.
Is that the door moving or is it moving?
The figure remains eerily still for several seconds before the door slams shut once again.
I think it's just the door moving.
It seems likely that this figure wasn't there when the employee first inspected the room, or he surely would have run out much earlier.
Hey,
what do you think this figure...
You could see where he was standing there, look.
Or he surely would have run out.
almost, if he was a bit like just a little forward, it's almost the exact position that that figure was in. So obviously there could be some editing work going on here or something. but whatever was standing there before would have had to been just here, like visible in the door. Because all he needs to do is just walk just to the frame of the door there, and he would be in the exact same position.
Out much earlier. What do you think this figure could be? A ghost or a shadow person perhaps? Or was it just a fellow employee waiting in the darkness to spook his colleague?
Don't know, Slappy
Without
Ham.
further information, we may never learn the truth behind this seriously scary video.
Poor dude. I don't know. Slapped Ham, my main man, Slappy. Let's go. Let's, what do we got next, Slappy?
YouTuber Joseph Chanselm is no stranger to scary experiences. In fact, he used to think that his apartment was haunted. Luckily, he was able to capture some of the supposed paranormal activity on camera, and the footage has been shocking his followers ever since.
Excuse me.
In this video, he begins filming his kitchen early in the morning.
I don't know why, but the flick of those switches, that looked planned.
The setting is eerily still, except for a few blurry orbs flying past the camera that some viewers believe could be supernatural. However, the orbs are quickly upstaged. Take a look.
Ooh.
As you can see, the kitchen cabinets slowly begin to swing open.
So let's just pretend this is real, okay? I'm not saying it's not, I'm not saying it is. If he's recording the kitchen, he wouldn't have been recording and then this happened. Like there would have been things going on in the kitchen, and tonight he decided to record to see if he can capture anything because it's been happening previously off camera. The main question here would be, why did he decide to record? It's probably because things have happened and he wants to see if he can capture it. It's not just a random thing that he's like, oh, I've recorded and caught something.
A few seconds pass, then the sound of several items falling from the cabinet can be heard.
They're coming
The
out.
next video is even more shocking. This time, the YouTuber sets up a camera in his bathroom. Take
Not
a
the
look
mirror.
what happens.
Maybe we'll get some. Good night.
Good night, man. Have a good sleep.
After about a minute after he shuts off the lights,
A
the tap in the
minute?
bathroom suddenly turns on. The view in the mirror shows that there isn't anyone in the room when the water begins to run, nor does it seem likely that a piece of string or fishing line could be used to turn the tap on, as its shape would make it almost impossible.
The only way you could do that with like string or tape or whatever is if you just taped a piece of string at the end of it, like here, and the string then wrapped around, came out the door, and then you pulled it. But you got to make sure it's definitely secured, otherwise it's going to pull it out of that tape. It's the only way I can think of turning it without going into like extreme measures to try and get this thing to happen. I don't know. You can see, yeah, you can. No, that's just one instant turn. Look at that. That's just one instant turn. There's no like slight little turn before. It's just instant. It's just a perfect turn.
Many viewers of this YouTube channel are truly disturbed by the footage. The simplicity of the videos and the raw nature of the footage has many convinced that this paranormal activity is definitely the real deal.
Wait. No. Look.
This
Hey.
paranormal activity is definitely the real.
He turned off the other tap. In the video, it looked like, I could be wrong, maybe it's flipped or something, I don't think so. But he turned off the other tap. In the video, when his tripod was set up here, and in the camera, in the mirror, it was here, this tap was the one that turned. Hold on, let's go back. This little black thing here, like a razor or whatever, is that next to that tap, or is the video flipped? Okay, so it's got soap there, the black thing there. Okay, so we'll have a look at the soap, see what side that's on. You can't see it, so maybe it is...
Raw nature of the footage has many
Okay, no, it was flipped. Okay, so that was the right tap.
convinced that
My
this
bad.
paranormal activity is definitely the real deal.
I don't know.
Was this YouTuber the target of a playful poltergeist? Or is there another way to explain these mysterious events?
I think the best way to explain anything like this is that you're not going to believe it unless you were the one who caught it, or unless you're the one who actually was there and saw it. Otherwise, there's no way, even if you have an explanation for it, that's fine, but there's no way to dismiss it or believe it because you don't know, because it's just a video. Obviously, you're not going to believe it. But if you were the one that saw all this weird stuff happen, you'd be like, yeah, maybe there's an explanation, but I know this happened. I didn't set it up. No one else is going to believe you. I don't know.
In the last video that Chancellor ever posted to his channel, he says that he has since moved out of his old apartment and hopes the poltergeist didn't follow him. So, unfortunately, it seems unlikely that we'll ever know what happened next.
I seriously doubt a poltergeist would probably follow me here. If it did, well, please don't break any of my new crap. I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah.
When
I'll be
Redditor
thinking the same.
1970 saw movement in the dark, their first instinct was to grab their phone and take a photo. To an anxious mind, there are many things that can lurk in the dark, and in this case, it seems the Redditor's instinct was right. The photo that they managed to capture appears to show an eerie face watching them from the wall. The second image in particular, which has been colour enhanced, shows the face with more clarity. It has large, scowling eyes and a mouth that appears to be laughing in a sinister manner from its vantage point high on the wall.
Hey, Slappy Hammer man, I know you're probably just reading out the description of this, but like I don't see it laughing. Whatever it looks like, yeah, it looks like you can see like the bulge of a nose and the eye sockets and the head and the shape and stuff and the mouth here. But to me, it doesn't look like it's laughing. To me, it almost looks like there could be another face down here, but I don't think that's actually part of it. You know what? I don't think it's laughing, Slappy Hammer man.
The photos were quick to garner much attention when they were first posted online. Some viewers suggested that the face was simply a case of pareidolia. However, the Redditor states that they tried to replicate the shot numerous times and failed to achieve the same result. They claim that the paint on the wall is matte and doesn't easily reflect the light, making these two photos the only ones that show the sinister face.
I was going to say, it could have been at that exact time during the night, and you had a window maybe over here in your room, and the moonlight was coming in. At that exact hour and the angle of the moon, it could have just been like, yeah, some reflection. But if it's matte, obviously, it's going to be harder to reflect. And yeah, I was going to say, maybe that's why he couldn't replicate it, because it wasn't at the same time. I don't know.
While it might be easy to dismiss the images as an anomaly, the fact that the Redditor claims they saw movement in the dark just prior to capturing them certainly adds to the creepiness. So what do you think? Do these photos really show the face of some sort of paranormal entity, or are they merely a trick of the light? Let me know what you think in the comments section below.
Not sure, Slappy, but what I do know is humans naturally, we're going to be interested or spooked out or at least intrigued by things that we're not sure of. You know, obviously the fear of the unknown. If something's happening and we're not sure how or why, it's going to be a bit weird. It's just often, for some reason, we tie this to ghosts and spirits and demons, when really it's just spooky because we don't know, you know? Even if there's an explanation, it just still seemed weird. Doesn't matter if it's spooky, ghost, demon, cat, dog, whatever. It's just, yeah, the fact that we don't know and it's a little bit abnormal, then yeah, it kind of makes it seem a bit spooky, obviously.
This video was captured by YouTuber Pack3Y3 at a famous landmark in Melbourne, Australia. At first, the footage seems uneventful.
Little context
However,
though, while you're
as
here.
the camera pans around the old building, something creepy can be seen on the upper balcony. Take a look.
Oh yeah, I've seen this clip. I think he's just here to show off, like he's visiting this area. Look at it,
Initially,
it's
it
awesome.
seems that the shape resembles the classic depiction of a ghost.
Yeah. Kid in a white sheet. Or a man
So
or a
much
woman.
so, in fact, that if anyone were to take a quick glance at the footage, they might easily think that the figure is little more than someone dressed in a sheet. However, if you take a closer look, you can see that the figure is actually transparent, and what's more, it appears to be crawling along the railing. While this might simply be an illusion caused by the figure's lower body being obscured by the pillars of the railing, there is certainly something mysterious about the way it glides out of sight.
I don't know.
The camera too doesn't seem to focus on the figure, which could indicate that the uploader might not have noticed until reviewing the footage sometime later. Could it be the ghost of a past resident of this iconic old building? It seems that no matter what the eerie figure actually is, one thing's for sure. This YouTuber has certainly managed to capture some very mysterious and rather unsettling footage.
This is an old clip, but I thought this was like a compilation of like stuff from 2023. but I'm guessing it's just a 2023 compilation of stuff, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, slap man!
These days, home security cameras are common. Designed to pick up movement while the residents are out during the day or asleep at night, these devices can sometimes capture things that most would prefer when unnoticed, such as...
It's the exact reason why I won't get one, because I'll get alerted by my dog if something's here. I don't want to see something weird that I don't know how to explain on a camera. That's just spooky, okay?
Is the case in this video. Little is known about the origins of this disturbing footage. However, that certainly doesn't detract from the chilling feeling that this footage will likely give you.
What we have here is this person seems to have spotted a real-life creeper creeping behind their couch. We are unsure whether or not it exploded after the fact, but what we do know is we didn't hear anything from them after. The only message we saw was from a tweet from them saying, "Damn, had to rebuild my house again."
First, the camera picks up an unexplainable banging sound. Then something truly terrifying happens.
What?
Take a look. A dark, transparent entity appears to walk right out of the wall.
Yeah, it does, and the weird thing is you could just put a... you could just mask right there, and I think they messed up the mask. They were trying to make it look like it's coming through, like, behind the wall, but they messed up the mask, so the line was here, and that's where it came out of, and the edge on that is very fine, so I think I'm gonna dismiss that one, okay? That's just a straight up, yeah, okay. Well, let's skip to the next one, Slappy.
YouTube channel
It's Siren Head!
Mystery 22 regularly posts videos of UFOs, prompting viewers to likely ponder the question, are humans alone in the universe?
Well, there's plenty of life everywhere. It's just when there's lights in the sky, I don't know, it's just weird because we don't know a lot of the time. It's just spooky. It's just strange. Like, oh, what is that? I'm not sure.
This footage, recorded from the window of a plane flying high above the surface of the Earth, may go a long way to answering that question. The footage was recorded during a flight back in 2013. It seems a passenger noticed something strange outside their window just as the plane flew above Atlanta, Georgia. They quickly took out their camera and began to capture this strange sight.
Let me do it for you. You know what I'm saying, right? You know the meme. You know the joke. Yeah, you know. I hope you know, because if you don't know, then that's completely out of context. Anyway.
Through the window, we can see 3 distinct orbs of bright light that appear to be flying alongside the plane.
I can't unsee the meme.
Due to the background, it's difficult to make out how close they are to the aircraft. At first, the 3 orbs maintain a triangular formation, never moving too far away from each other. At this point, some viewers may be inclined to believe that the video simply shows ordinary aircraft making their regular scheduled flights. However, as the footage continues, that scenario seems less and less likely to be the case.
I don't know.
Firstly, it would be highly unusual and even dangerous for other aircraft to be flying so close to a commercial flight. Secondly, the craft looks spherical in shape and unlike anything in this world.
Listen. All this stuff is interesting and entertaining, but I don't find this as interesting. I want to see some more men or women getting, like, just super spooked like that dude in the office. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip, okay?
When it comes to haunted hotels, few are so iconic as the Stanley Hotel. Even skeptics will be familiar with the hotel's imagery, thanks to Stephen King's immensely popular suspense novel, The Shining.
Everyone knows a Stanley.
Claims that just one night's stay in the hotel was enough to inspire the sinister events that take place in the Overlook Hotel, where a majority of the novel takes place.
And I'm pretty sure the Stanley sits on a, like, underneath the ground. It's just, like, a bunch of, like quartz as well, which is supposed to increase the energy and activity and stuff like that. Because it's on, like, a plane of quartz underneath. Which sounds fake, but no, there's so many things under the ground under us, like rocks and minerals and things like that. This just happens to be a bunch of quartz right under the ground on this area, I think. I think that's the Stanley I'm thinking of.
It's little wonder that both supernatural enthusiasts and skeptics have long since flocked to the hotel to see the source of King's inspiration for themselves. Such seems to have been the case for one Henry Yao, who claimed to have been doubtful of the rumoured supernatural activity in the hotel. However, as is often the case, Yao would find his doubts challenged after snapping this photo.
And up here there's an supposed portal. I'm pretty sure just behind this staircase is a mirror. This staircase. And behind this staircase is another mirror. And I think the same thing up the top above the staircase too. Which apparently creates portals. I don't know. I'm just giving you information that I've heard, okay? I'm not saying this is what I believe or what blah blah blah. I'm just, yeah.
Of an oddly ghostly figure stood at the top of a staircase in the hotel. As is the case with many such photos, it seems Yao was only able to capture the figure in a single frame before the figure most likely disappeared. While the entity in the photo is slightly obscured in the hasty snap, it nevertheless seems to be quite clearly clad in a long black dress or robe. With a swathe of white visible, the figure could easily be identified as a nun, or simply a woman dressed up wearing a shawl. Either way,
well, I don't think if it was a nun, I could be wrong, but I don't think a nun, by the looks of this, it's got the upper chest exposed and the shoulders, and I don't think a nun would wear something like that. I don't think, maybe I could be wrong, but yeah.
Figure appears to be fairly ethereal, with its face obscured and its posture making it seem as though it's ready to glide away at any moment.
You fix my posture.
Chilling and odd, this figure is nearly exactly what one would hope to see during a stay at the Stanley Hotel.
I don't know, Slap!
Posted to the website Ghost and Ghouls, the tale behind this creepy photo lends a whole new dimension to the story of the shadowy figure seen wandering in the background.
What?
Captured at Muckross Abbey, a historic Irish haunt, it's believed that the shadowy figure seen in the photo is that of a ghostly monk. The site explains that the 15th
Do you just think that because there was monks here? Because it doesn't look like a monk to me. I don't know.
century Abbey suffered historic raids until naught but ruins remained in the Abbey's place.
Pretty horrible stuff
Author
happened.
Bram Stoker spent time in the cemetery at Muckross Abbey, soaking in the dark atmosphere. With such concentrated atrocities having all taken place in this historic location, it's little wonder the locals believe the ghosts of the wronged friars remain to haunt the abbey. Some say the sounds of Gregorian chants can still be heard drifting faintly from the abbey to this day. With scary photos such as this adding to the haunt's reputation, the ghostly monk won't likely be the last such haunting to be reported here.
Spooky stuff. I'm keen to see some more because I want to see a bunch of cool,
When
creepy
Adam
stuff.
Smith happened to walk past this defunct Welsh psychiatric hospital, it's likely he didn't imagine capturing any scary photos. With the old hospital in Bronless-Brecon, Wales having been officially shut down in 1999, it hadn't housed any official patients in decades. However, there was no mistaking the figure Smith managed to capture staring directly out of the window of the hospital.
Well, listen, Slap, you say there's no mistaking, but I mean, I can't talk. Yeah, it looks like it's got like hair, and that's the chest area, and it's got a mouth and an eye. But I mean, who knows what it could be? It's a bad quality photo, obviously. Yeah, I don't know, Slap.
With its eerie face visible staring directly through the window, it seems to have perfectly timed its appearance in order to make itself known to Smith. While the figure is slightly obscured in the full-size picture, a zoom in to the photo makes the frightening face clearly visible.
Oh.
The hospital is a former prisoner of war camp, which was said to have housed captured German soldiers during World War II. Ghastly lobotomies were performed on site in a bid to cure conditions like alcoholism, senile dementia, and postnatal depression. With so much turmoil occurring in one building, it's easy to see why spirits may have chosen to hang around.
Yeah, a lot of horrible
prisoners
stuff.
Of war or victims of unethical psychiatric practices, one could see why the building remains a source of discomfort for locals.
I mean, the weird face could be a depiction of what the person actually felt like because of all the horrible things that have happened to them. Or someone could have just placed like a creepy prop mannequin there. I don't know.
What do you think's been caught in this photo? Tormented spirit or something more easily explainable? Let me know in the comments.
As usual, Slap Man, I don't know, Slappy. I don't know anything.
Captured in the middle of the night, this photo, allegedly taken in the uploader Nick D3's living room, seems to show a ghostly woman sat on the sofa. Although the photo is fairly dark, the gauntness of the woman's face is still easy to make out. With a pained expression, the woman immediately gives off some spooky and ghostly vibes. Although the single frame doesn't reveal any actions taken by the potential spirit or reveal any of its movements, its appearance is unnerving to say the least.
Yeah, it's definitely spooking.
With the end of the video begging the question, what was it? Angel, demon, or something else? It would seem fair enough to eliminate the possibility of it being some sort of angel. With that,
I might have missed context, but all I know is if you have a mirror shape like this, then you're gonna capture stuff because I don't know why, but it just seems like it. Whenever I see like things captured, it's usually in places with like old looking mirrors like this on a cupboard. That's how it happens. It's the old furniture. Anyway, I think I might have missed context. Was this just like taken from like a maybe like a motion capture security camera in the room? I don't know.
in mind, it seems easy to see why the uploader claims to have since gotten rid of the couch the woman is seen sitting on in the photograph. Since removing the furniture, the figure hasn't been seen since.
It could have just been an old lady. She actually doesn't look old. It could have just been an old lady still in her young body and she passed away there or nearby and that was her couch and now you've removed it and she's just like, where am I gonna sit? I just gotta stay in your ceiling now.
Sent in by slappedham viewer Linda S, this next photo is truly a mysterious one. The blurry photo was taken in a hallway where one young man and one older man are both visible. The older man appears in the bottom left corner of the photo, appearing to be mid-motion. Meanwhile, the younger man seems to be standing still, focusing on the camera. Linda explains that the young man in the photo is her nephew. Taken at her brother and sister-in-law's home, Linda wanted to capture a few snaps of her nephew as he had just returned home from college for a visit. Linda explains she snapped a few photos, including consecutive photos of her nephew. It wasn't until she examined them the next day that the confusion surrounding this photo set in.
Do you have the other photos?
There, clearly visible in the photo was the older man in the red shirt.
And also, it doesn't look like he's looking in the camera. Or maybe, you can kind of see white there and then like the eye. But to me, it kind of looked like he was looking at the old man. The old man, we don't know. It's just, we just think it's an old man because it kind of looks like it. But it could be anyone.
However, the man in the red shirt was completely unknown to Linda and her family. The man shouldn't have been there at all. Linda would have surely noticed a strange old man in the hallway when the photo was taken, yet, clear as day, an unknown person has appeared. Linda's unease seems to have been corroborated by her nephew, as he was so freaked out by the photo he threw Linda's phone down onto the lawn after seeing it for the first time. Sure, the man in the photo was some sort of ghost or demon, Linda explains that her nephew has chosen to never look at the photo ever again.
I don't know.
Without any idea of who the man in the photo was, and with clear photographic evidence of his presence, Linda assures us that her belief in the supernatural has been solidified ever since she captured the photo, and it's easy to see why. Without any possible explanation for the man's presence, this photo certainly fits in the realm of the unexplainable.
I don't know, slap.
Taken by one Amy Harper, the last of these scary photos seems to have converted its photographer from a skeptic to a believer in one fell swoop.
Let's skip forward. A lot of these are photos. I kind of want to look at some videos and stuff. Are these videos? I think this is videos. Yeah, we'll look at some of these. I think this is a video, yeah?
Are enough to keep you up all night. The first clip opens in the middle of the...
Hold on. Was that... I think it was a sound in the... It sounded like someone said my name, but I think it was actually like a sound in here. Let me just go back.
McClary are enough to keep you up all night. The first clip opens in the middle of the night. The uploader is awoken by his Alexa assistant.
A deliberate attempt to contact the spirit of it.
Alexa seems keen to give the definition of a seance, completely unprompted.
A deliberate attempt to contact the spirit of a deceased person is known as a seance.
Alexa gives a creepy...
A deceased person is known as a seance.
You can hear him go like... He's freaking out. I got the goosebumps, man. I got the goosebumps. Oh, I would be freaking out too. I'll just be like, I didn't ask.
Alexa gives a creepy and unnatural laugh once she's done. She then maniacally tells the uploader she has a skill he might like.
I have a skill you might like.
While it's not out of the ordinary for the assistant to suggest a set of actions, it's odd to do so unprompted. Laughing still, the door to the bedroom begins swinging open and closed as the colours change rapidly.
I have a skill you might
Wanna
like.
try it?
The unit continues to terrorise the uploader as the short clip ends.
Tee-hee, 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 tee-hee.
The second clip begins with a knocking sound coming from the basement.
Listen, I don't care if that's fake. That would be terrifying. But when the door swung open, who knows if that's fake or not? It could have just been, yeah, obviously. If it swung open like that, the first assumption of most humans are going to be, okay, look how fast it swung open, it's fake. But regardless, it's kind of funny and it's absolutely horrifying if that was happening. Like, okay.
A dog can also be heard barking in the background.
A dog. Is this the same people, yeah?
Clearly scared, but needing to know what they're dealing with, the uploader attempts to venture down to the basement. They're heard saying hello to the source of the banging.
Hello?
The banging stops. However, a scraping sound follows nearly immediately after, as though whatever's been making the sound was quickly scrambling up the stairs towards the uploader.
Oh.
If you watch it again, it actually sounds like footsteps running up the stairs towards the camera holder.
It does, Mr. Slap, but the thing I'm wondering about is he had no reaction to it whatsoever. And if I was standing there, I don't care if I believe or not, and I hear something running up the steps, like with my actual ears, I'm gonna be moving a bit. You'd see the camera move. Like, I would be moving a bit. I'd be up the stairs. I'll be standing next to my girlfriend because he's got the girlfriend there. I'll be going over to her, man.
Oh my god!
The
Okay.
dog continues.
Okay, yeah. He had a late reaction because it would have taken like a second for it to set in. Like, he would have just been focusing. Okay, I can hear something. And then, yeah, okay, no, I get it.
Used to bark as the uploader shouts, "Oh my god," just as the clip ends. This series of clips seems to show something seriously wrong with the uploader's home.
Oh my god!
YouTube channel Wolfcry Weather and News seems to have stumbled upon Jinn activity in these freaky clips. Making their way through an abandoned
Jinn
hospital,
activity?
the ghost hunter in the video remains brave in the face of a series
What is Jinn activity? Like, when I hear the word Jinn, I just think of alcohol. Jinn? Okay.
of odd occurrences. All is quiet until just after the 1 minute mark when strange noises can be heard. The man asks if there's anyone there and demands the Jinn show itself, to no avail.
Maybe he's an alcoholic. Jinn! I know you're there. Come on, show yourself. I don't want to drink you, but I mean, I know you're here. Just come on out.
إذا في أحد
Jinn.
أو إنس
Jinn like
يثبت
a
حضوره
Jinn like another word in, or like a word in that country, whatever language you speak. And I'm guessing Jinn is a word for like ghost or spirit or whatever.
He continues to pray as he makes his way through the hospital, seemingly certain he's
Got
in
an
the
itchy
presence
ear.
of a less than friendly Jinn. Still, the man seems to believe in the power of his prayers.
وأشهد أن محمد رسول الله.
First of all, why are
When
you there
a
by
chair
yourself?
seemingly moves out of nowhere, the man can't help but let the distress be heard in his voice.
شريك له الملك وله الحمد. له الملك وله الحمد. بسم الله.
When the chair moves once more, it seems clear the Jinn is growing increasingly angered by the man's continued prayers.
الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء. لا ضر بالسماء. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم.
The man makes his way through the hospital. His nerves appear to become more and more frayed. He makes sure to shout his prayers louder as a door slams out of nowhere.
الشيطان الرجيم.
How about, man, just wherever you came from, however you got in here, just go back that way and get out. I would do that. I don't know. Just a suggestion.
He enters a room at random and sees a window slide open without anyone visible near it. The man is clearly near his breaking point as a loud, unnatural screeching or scraping sound can be heard coming from somewhere in the hospital.
Listen, I know this could be set up. The chair, he could have done that with his foot. But then the door slam. Yeah, he could have had a friend in there slamming the door. But you would have heard the window. The window would have had to been open. They slammed the door and they would have had to run out and jump out the window and then shut it. But I'm pretty sure he would have heard the window shut. Because when he walked in, the window was the window... I don't know.
The sound continues as the man is finally spooked enough to make a run for it.
Yeah, just go! Oh.
He lets the Jinn know on his way out that he was far from defeated. Assuring the Jinn that he would be back, one can't help but think the Jinn would be far less passive the next time he visits.
I don't care if it's fake. That screaming and the echoing and then that would just be horrifying if it was happening. I don't care if someone's playing a prank on me, it would still be spooky.
Mystery behind the next of these freaky clips, posted to TikTok by user Mysterious Unknowns Exposed, may never likely be resolved. The clip begins with a man seated on a bench near some woods. He's talking to the camera, which is seemingly why this event was recorded in the first place. Another man appears to be walking in the woods behind him. Something seems off immediately as the cameraman zooms in on the second man quite quickly. The man's presence becomes much more ominous. The man continues walking. As he approaches a thin and barren tree, however, he's not seen emerging from the other side. Too thin to disguise him, this immediately raises a red flag for the man behind the camera, who goes to investigate. He pans around the entire tree only to find the man has disappeared completely.
I don't know.
He looks around the entire area, but still there's no sign of the man who just disappeared. Without any rhyme or reason, the man seems to have made himself known only to scare those around him.
Yeah, well, the first thought, this guy's sitting on the edge and the guy filming him. I don't know what they're saying, I don't know the language, but I just thought maybe, like, is this guy that's sitting being, like, intimidated by this other dude? And then this guy's come along to get the attention of the intimidator and kind of stop what's happening. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Seemingly unworried about being spotted, he almost seems to be taunting the viewer by allowing him to glimpse his disappearance. Still, without the man anywhere in sight, it's likely the man in question will never get an answer as to the mysterious man's identity, and neither will the viewer.
I don't know.
Posted to Reddit by user Alien, this seems to be one in a series of freaky events occurring in a former hospital turned office building. Providing context for the clip, the uploader explains that this event was far from isolated. With odd occurrences having taken place before the clip was posted, the uploader is sure the office is the scene of some distressing haunting. The uploader first explains that the owner of the building has often imagined the figure of a man standing in the corner of the office when no one should have been around. Still,
did they say imagining?
The uploader first explains that the owner of the building has often imagined the figure of a man standing in the corner of the office when no one should have been around. Still, the office manager believed he was simply being paranoid rather than the victim of a haunting. It's likely this clip played a part in convincing him otherwise. Roughly a week later, the police were alerted to what would otherwise be considered some sort of break-in or suspicious activity. A door had opened in the building, but when the police arrived, they saw no one around. It wasn't until that event that the surveillance video was checked, revealing this clip.
What did they capture?
In it, one can clearly see what appears to be the blinds on one door's window opening by themselves.
Well, obviously there'll be no wind in there.
Next, the door slowly begins to creak open with no one around or captured in the video. The odd and careful activity seems to have confirmed the office manager's worst fears, that he was perhaps not truly alone when he pictured the man standing in the corner.
I would hate to be in a massive area like this and the only one in the office. Like, look at it all. Oh, that would be just scary anyway. I don't like to be in big areas. Even if I was a billionaire, I would never own a mansion. Why? F that. I don't need that much space. That much space causes more space to think, huh, maybe there's enough space here that there's something weird going on because I don't know, I can't see around that corner or down that hallway.
He's likely the victim of something much more sinister than a trick of the imagination.
Yeah, I don't know, Slap. I don't know, Slap.
The last of these freaky clips, posted to Facebook by user Kayleen Bowman, is just as inexplicable as some of the others. What's been dubbed a glitch in the simulation, viewers are left to come to their own conclusion. Seen floating in mid-air appears to be a dark object. The object seems to be suspended from nowhere with no wires or structures nearby. On closer inspection, it appears to be a bird frozen in place mid-air.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like a bird to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm not looking right, but I don't know. Maybe this is the head, but it's not. But that's the wing, and that's the tail, and that's the little feet. I don't know.
A still photo was also taken, so we can get a better, more focused look.
There you go.
Floating in the air and completely still, the object almost seems to be levitating as if by magic. Either it's something...
I know with winds, birds can stay in place like that, but they're still moving slightly, you know? I don't know.
Supernatural and mysterious, or the aforementioned glitch in the Matrix. The clip is nevertheless enough to shake even the most die-hard skeptics. So what do you think's going on in this clip? Is it just a bird suspended on some thin, unseen wire, or is it truly a glitch in the Matrix?
I don't think this is a very interesting clip. To me, personally, at least.
Love to hear your opinions on this one in the comments section below.
Well, since you asked, Slap, I'll just go ahead and say... I don't know, Slappy. Not sure.
Cameras are a popular CCTV technology frequently used by hunters, hoping to spot potential targets in forests near their homes.
What they catch?
When a friend of Reddit user C. Grazia checked his trail cam, something much more disturbing than a rogue deer appeared.
What did he catch? I'm just pretending to be overly excited. Okay, let's go.
The images are black and white, much more disturbing than a rogue deer appeared. The images are black and white, but the first shot shows the forest clearly.
Oh yeah, bottom right.
The trees in the area are in sharp focus. However, there's something else in the shot that is more difficult to discern. What appears to be the figure of a person walking through the woods. Whatever it is blurry, as if caught in motion. Its back appears to be to the camera, so no facial features can be distinguished. All that we can tell is that it appears to be a man walking with his hands in his pockets.
How do you know it's a man? Are you assuming? Oh, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what to think about it.
Users assumed that the camera had simply caught the image of an ordinary person walking through the woods. However, C. Grazia pointed out that the camera takes pictures in bursts, capturing numerous images over the course of a few seconds. This figure only appears in one of the photos.
Okay, yeah, that's where it gets me there a little bit because I don't know, but I got the goosebumps. That's what I know. Look at that. I've got the goosebumps on my arms. I don't know. I don't know.
In addition, another photo was captured in the same burst that is much more terrifying. A close-up shot of what seems to be the head and shoulders of a brightly glowing figure staring directly into the camera.
You know what it is? It's just the moon. Skeptics say that this is just an image of the moon.
Combined, these two terrifying photos paint a much more disturbing picture. Could there be some sort of ghostly entity walking the trails near this camera? Redditors are hoping that additional photos will shed some light on the issue, but for now, the figure remains a mystery.
I've got no idea, man. My fellow Australian.
Reddit user JustSin1 posted this eerie picture in mid-2020. They said their mum's goddaughter had been feeling weird in their apartment lately. According to the goddaughter, she had suspected that she's not really ever home alone since she moved into her new place. She often feels a strange presence in the apartment, especially when she's home alone. Sometimes she sees figures in the corner of her eye, but is never able to get a good look. An innocent selfie ended up giving her the clearest indication of what may be haunting her. In the background of her photo, peeking around a doorway, appears a shadow, a humanoid shape, but it's entirely black.
What I want to know is, was she just taking a selfie and this happened? Because I know a lot of people do those angles, you know, they kind of do like a slight angle, so they're not exactly in the center of the frame. I don't know. Was she just taking a selfie, or was this there and she decided to snap the shot of it because, like, that's why she took the photo? I don't know.
It appears to have long hair or be wearing some sort of veil over its head. The Redditors who saw the photo were shocked by the image. They believe that the picture clearly confirms the existence of shadow people. According to one commenter, the girl in the photo should be careful. Shadow people tend to drain positive emotions from those they visit unless they're properly banished.
And also, Reddit users tend to drain emotions from visitors because they're quite crazy over there. Anyway.
Not much is known about shadow people. It's said that they lurk in dark corners, terrifying those unlucky enough to encounter them. If a shadow person has latched itself onto this young woman, she should indeed be wary.
I just quickly want to say, okay, these videos to me are just like playing a horror game or watching a horror movie, okay? I'm not here to say like, oh my gosh, like, I believe now, or I'm a skeptic, or blah, 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 or that's fake, that's real. I'm just here for the entertainment. That's the sole purpose of it, okay? It's just like playing a horror game or watching a horror movie. It's just entertainment. It's fun, it's intriguing, regardless. Let's go. Let's do this.
Some terrifying photos come with a tragic backstory, such as this image shared by Redditor MJMJ101. What was meant to be a loving tribute to a beloved pet turned sinister when something odd was spotted in the background.
What was spotted in the background?
Curled up in a comfy dog bed. Unfortunately, the pup's time was limited. Shortly after the photo was taken, the dog passed away from parvovirus.
Oh.
This fact makes the oddity spotted in the photo even more terrifying. Just behind the pup, we see a set of strange feet that appear to be walking through the room.
Listen, I'm sorry to pause a bunch. It's just, that's just what I do in these videos, okay? I like to talk about stuff that I think. I would just be like, I'm not trying to pick on people here, okay? But I'm just saying, like, to me, it looks like it's just you've got an anorexic sibling. Someone that's either anorexic or some sort of eating disorder, or they have some sort of sickness and they've walked and... I don't know.
The person who took the photo says they were alone with the dog when the photo was taken, but the image suggests otherwise. Viewers have noted that the legs don't seem to belong to an ordinary person. The feet are fairly large, but the legs are extremely thin. However, the position of the feet suggests that they don't belong to a small, frail person. They're extremely far apart.
Yeah, I was about to say that. They're very actually far apart, which would mean you'd have to be extremely tall to get that kind of... I mean, you can step that far, but to have the gap like this without it going up into like this angle, you'd have to have like a really long leg, like... I don't know, man.
Indicating that the legs belong to an exceptionally tall person.
It's probably me.
The skin is also very pale, adding to the sickly look of the spindly legs.
You can see the shine on their toenail. They're just enjoying the sun.
No one is sure who or what these strange feet belong to. Some viewers have suggested that the ghostly figure was hanging around, preparing to escort the pup to the afterlife.
Well, if that is the case, then that's awesome, because I hope the pup gets up there safely and has a very nice breakfast, dinner, or lunch. Poor little pup. Parvo's horrible.
Could these legs belong to some sort of canine Grim Reaper?
I don't know, Slapdam.
The last place where you want to spot terrifying photos is on your baby monitor.
Oh.
Unfortunately for Redditor, Slaggedly, this is exactly what happened when they reviewed footage from when their infant was asleep in their crib. The image is disturbing. It shows crystal clear a figure leaning over the crib, looking closely at the sleeping child.
First glance, kind of just looks like a mum in like some sort of gown. You know, she's ready for bed and she's going to check on the baby. You can see the elbows and she's just in her gown. That's my first thought.
Because of the position of the camera, only the figure's legs and lower torso can be seen. Both parents were said to be in the yard at the time the photo was taken on the motion sensing camera, and no one else lives in the house. Viewers have suggested 3 possibilities, and all options are equally terrifying. The figure could be some sort of ghost peering in at the child, or an intruder has snuck in, or worse still, a mysterious person could be living secretly in the house.
Oh, that's the worst one, because, did you hear about the story? I think you probably heard about it, but there was this couple, and I'm probably getting the story wrong, but basically there was this couple that were living in a house, like people do. They slept in the same bed together, like couples do, and what happened was they would hear this scratching from underneath the house, underneath the bed, and they never thought anything of it, and eventually there actually was someone under there. Like, this isn't like a ghost story or anything. Like, it actually happened. There was this, I forget what it was, but this very mentally unwell person, and she was under there scratching and blah, 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 and there actually was a person under the bed. The whole time, whenever they thought, I don't know what that is, it actually was a person. Ah, just imagine that. Look at the goosebumps on that. Look at the goosebumps on that, mate. Oh, gosh.
Whether the figure is a ghost or a human, one thing's clear. These parents had better keep a very close eye on their child when they're asleep in this nursery. When Redditor Connor Parry 2003 was a kid, Halloween was an exciting holiday. However, on one particular year, things got a little scarier than they had hoped for. The youngster posed for a picture in their costume before heading out to trick or treat. When the pictures were developed, it became clear that the child's costume wasn't the scariest thing in the image.
No, it's
just over the child's shoulder, there appears to be a sinister face peering out of the shadows.
What is that?
The face appears to be a brownish green colour with a mass of dark hair. Some viewers of the photo are skeptical, believing that this could be a case of pareidolia, the human tendency to spot faces where none exist, because the brain is naturally wired to search for recognisable patterns. However, others are certain that a ghostly entity was lurking in the shadows on that Halloween.
Even if it is a case of that, like, what actually is this though? Even if it's not and it just looks like a face, but it's not, like, what actually is it? I don't think he's got like some weird thing connected to his back. Whatever that is, you'd expect it to be either standing on the ground there. Like, what's making this, whatever it is, stand? It could be like a pile of clothes, but if it was, where's the basket? Where is it? Like, how's it there? Whatever it is, even if it's not a face. Know what I mean? I don't know.
Is this simply part of the couch behind the boy, or is there something ghostly going on? Take a close look at the photo and judge for yourself.
Not sure, Slappedham, my man.
Redditor native Meraki installed outdoor cameras for security, never expecting to end up with terrifying photos. However, it seems that a spirit may have had other plans. The image was taken by a camera in the driveway late one night. A few yards away from the camera, a woman appears to be walking through the tall grass. She's translucent white from head to toe. She appears to be wearing a long dress and has her arms wrapped around her torso.
It's hard to tell if she's transparent or not because she's on a black background. If she was she was down here, then you'd probably be able to tell if you can see the stuff through it. But right here on a black background, this literally just could be a case of bad security camera and a woman walking in a nightgown for some reason. Maybe she had a bad night, maybe she's mentally unwell, maybe she's on some extreme drugs and she's going for a stroll. I don't know. This is from
The
2019.
Redditor wanted to believe that she had caught herself on the camera. However, she never goes out into the driveway at night without a flashlight and doesn't own a dress like the one in the picture. According to this Redditor, the former owner of the home passed away and had her ashes spread on the property. The area was also once home to Native American tribes, some of whom are likely buried nearby. Could this figure be the ghost of a former owner, or that of a Native American woman who once called the area home?
See, we don't know anything about this Earth. Well, we do, you know, but we barely know. If I had to like go ahead and guess that maybe this isn't actually just like an actual person walking, and it could be like just the spirit of a person or whatever, then it would be nice to think that maybe it's the previous owner. You know, who knows? Who knows? All I know is that I don't know, and it would just be a nice thought that she's strolling on past her old house. If that was the case, if that was a possibility, I think that's kind of nice. Anyway.
For now, the identity of the figure remains a complete mystery. When Redditor Stagger Nort lost their father as a child, they were devastated to know that they would never see him again.
Wish I got a visit from Dad. I'm just kidding.
A photo taken at a family event seems to suggest that he might be closer than anyone thought. In the photo, we see the Redditor posing in front of a delicious feast with their mother and 2 siblings.
I can't see anything.
The family is smiling, but it's clear from their expressions that they were missing one crucial member of the family that day. On the left-hand side of the happy family photo, something seems amiss. A streak of bright light appears in the photo right next to the Redditor's mother. While some may believe that the mark is just a flaw in the film, others are skeptical. The Redditor is convinced that the photo proves their father was with them the day the photo was taken. This event happened in the same year their father passed away, so it isn't unreasonable to believe that his spirit could still be lingering around. Is this a photo of a lost family member, or merely some damaged film? Take a closer look at the photo and decide for yourself.
I don't know.
And let us know what you think in the comments section below.
I don't think anyone knows anything about anything, so it's kind of just like, let's just look at it. Anyway, we do have some more. I skipped over some because a lot of them were either like a little bit boring or just images, and I want to get some more videos, but we've been recording over an hour. This whole thing here is an hour. I don't want to make this video too much more than an hour, but hopefully you guys enjoyed, okay? That's going to do for today. Hopefully you enjoyed. We're going to watch some more. You guys have been really enjoying it, and I've been enjoying doing it. It's super fun to be able to, like, I say this in everyone at the end of the start, but it's super fun to be able to actually, like, do videos where I can actually do something with you guys rather than you watching me play a game. I really enjoy it. So yeah. Anyway, hopefully you're all staying happy, healthy, and hydrated, taking care of yourself and one another. Yeah, I love you all. Don't die.